Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of the F Y'all podcast. I am your co-host, Michael Wright, and across from me, as always, is the man you came to see, the one and only, the legendary Superman from Compton, Mr. C.T. motherfucking Fletcher. Pops, what's going on today? How you feeling, sir?
Man, I'm blessed as always. I like that introduction, even if it did come from an old windbag-looking motherfucker like you.
You 78 Buick shaped bastard. I'm really trying to be nice to you. I really try, and you make it very hard for me to be nice to you. But we got a special guest, so I'm going to let you do the introduction this week. You got history with this gentleman, so who better to introduce him than your man himself? So take it away, Pops.
Absolutely. I'm glad to finally have in the studio my son, Tim the Comanche Warrior. Now, me and Tim go way, way back.
Yes, sir.
Our first video was 11 years ago, and a whole lot has happened between then and now.
Yeah.
To say the least. We made several videos. Tim the Comanche Warrior has more heart, more spirit than probably anybody I ever trained before. This young man knows nothing about give up.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Trained some monsters.
Oh, I have trained some monsters. He has nothing. He knows nothing about giving up. The Comanche spirit, the Comanche warrior spirit is alive and well in this young man right here. And I'm glad to have you here.
All right, welcome to the podcast,
Good
Tim.
to be here, Pops, man. Just excited to be down in Cali again. You know, it's been about 5 or 6 years since I've been down here. It's been a while since we shot.
Yeah.
And man, just like you say, so much has happened, so much. It's where do we start? You know what I mean? Where do we start?
I'm gonna start with some before we get to our past history. I'm gonna ask you. This month is Native American month, and you know I see. I watch old movies. That's one of my habits. I watch old movies, and every old movie I watch, the Indians are always the bad guys. And along comes a cowboy with his pistols and white horse and killing the evil Comanches. That shit pissed me off, and I'm not Comanche. What do you think about that, Tim?
Well, you know, people fear what they don't understand, you know. And as a native people, you know, when the settlers came in, you know, the white man came, they tried to bring us things that we didn't fucking want.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't understand us. All we wanted to do was live. You know,
Yeah.
we hunted, we fucked,
Yeah.
and we took care of our tribe. You know, we took care of our land. You know, leave it to the white man to fuck something like that up. You know,
Everything's going good. Huh?
yeah. All we, you know, and when we lived, we took care of our families, and when we lived in a special way with the earth. And when they came, they took us away from that special way, and now we don't live with the earth how we used to. A handful of us do, but most of us forgot, you know, and I think that was kind of their plan, but, you know, I ain't trying to get in no conspiracies or nothing.
So every time you hear a motherfucker say Christopher Columbus discovered America, how does that make you feel?
Ah, shit. I don't know how you
Started on
discover something where motherfuckers are already living. But, you know, every time I see a statue of his fall, it makes me feel a little bit better. It don't help a lot, but it makes me feel just a little bit better. You know what I mean? It really does. Fuck Christopher Columbus, man.
Yeah, finally, in fucking 2024, it's finally, you know, coming to light a little bit that, you know, that was some bullshit they taught us
It's
in
always
school.
been there. They've always known it.
Yeah, they knew it from the
Just
fucking
been
very
suppressed.
beginning. I'm in fucking third grade. I'm like, didn't y'all say the Indians was already here? How you gonna fucking discover this motherfucker?
I do have a question. I want to jump in here. So you talked about your people living off the earth, and you said very few of them do now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned that as we get further along that the old way of living is going to be forgotten?
No.
Okay.
It's an old prophecy. It was told years ago that 7 generations from when they came in, that the earth will be given back to the indigenous people. And I believe that that time will come. I believe that technology is going to X itself out, and then we as a people, not just indigenous, we as a people are going to have to relearn Mother Earth. We're going to have to relearn how to live off the land. No electricity. But we have the sun every day.
Yeah.
So I think
It's the babies.
I think the technology is definitely hurting the people as a whole.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
As a whole, and I believe that that it'll happen. It'll come back to where something's going to happen to where we got to live off the land again,
Yeah.
learn to appreciate the land, and stop tearing it up. Pretty
But
much.
how fucked are we going to be when we get to that point? Because how many people actually know how to live off the land?
Yes,
these days?
exactly. I mean, even I know a lot of natives who don't really know how to do that, but there is a lot of people out there who do,
Yeah.
and I think it'd be a glorious day when that happens. Things will change. There's a part in it's the Book of Eli, the movie.
Yeah.
Where
Oh, yeah.
where the
Denzel.
girl asked Denzel, how was it in the life in the land before, and he said that people had more than they needed, and people throw away what they cherish today, and I believe that. There's days where I'm throwing away leftovers, and I'm like, fuck, I remember growing up, we weren't allowed to leave those leftovers.
Mm-mm.
Hell,
You better eat that. You'll be
Hey.
sitting there for you in the morning.
Gone.
It'll be there in the morning. So I find myself doing that, and I'm just like, man, that statement that Denzel had made, it always resonates with me.
Yep. Most
You know,
definitely.
Like I said, Big Tim, a lot has happened
oh,
since. So, okay, we started out training together in 2013. The video came out in 2014.
yeah,
So it's been 11 years. And, I said, I adopted you as my son way back then. Because
Mhm.
this kid's got, heart and spirit mean a lot to me.
yeah,
It's always my mantra. Still your motherfucking set no matter what happens in life or out in the gym. Whatever happens, you just keep going.
yeah.
It don't matter what happens. We just keep going. That's we built. I can tell that's the way you were built.
Mhm.
And like I said, a lot of things have happened. So I'm trying to catch up with my son today
Mhm.
and find out. We're gonna talk. But since then,
Yeah.
I've had a heart transplant.
Mhm.
Got a woman's heart in my chest now.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened to the old man. But I'm trying to find out what happened to my son Tim since then.
Well, man, where do I? Well, I'll begin with my family, man. Me and my ex-wife, we broke up. We unfortunately we didn't lose her, but we lost her to drug abuse. She's currently in rehab right now. Hopefully, I pray she comes back around.
I remember
So
her.
I'm a single father of 5, man. I got it's just me and 5 kids, man. And
Wow.
I do it every day. The cape doesn't come off. I always see pictures where it shows people taking their cape off and either motherfucker mine stays on.
24/7.
I got 4 girls in the house and 1 boy.
Wow.
And
How old's your son now?
Tyler,
Yeah.
he's 26.
Wow.
He was 13.
Yeah.
Last time. Yeah, he's
Man,
26.
To the family is.
26.
20, and I run I started my own construction company called Johnson and Sons Contractors.
All right.
And I'm blessed. I can't even keep up, man. I started with just me for 3 years. Man, I've been ripped off. You name
Ooh.
it. You name it.
Yeah.
You name it. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean, crawling through raw sewage. It's a good story. I want to tell you real quick. It's a small one, but me and my brother was helping me, my older brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I had cut the line and raw sewage. I'm talking 4 inches deep.
Oh my.
And he was standing there going, "Ugh, ugh."
Yeah.
He's like, what are we going to do? I said, I'm going to fix the pipe. And he looked at me as I laid on my back in the ship.
Yeah. That's what.
And
it
I
was.
fixed it. And I jumped out, started taking my clothes off. And I looked at him. I said, this is what we do for our families.
Hell.
And a lot of people don't see that, people make jokes about plumbers, they make
Mhm.
jokes about plumbers. And it's like, man, they do a lot, and it's not
That's
just a
it.
plumber. It's all construction. And, I believe that construction workers are uncelebrated people.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because people will celebrate the actors and people will celebrate them. Hey man, we need a fucking Emmy award for some
Yeah.
contractors out
Yeah.
here because we're the ones that make the world go round. If the lights went off today and the water no longer worked, who are you gonna call?
No,
You're gonna call us.
Somebody
We're gonna be out there building. We're
Yep.
gonna be trying to drill for more water. We're gonna be trying to find new electrical ways. The tradespeople are the ones.
Yeah.
When it goes down, are the ones that's going to rebuild the world back up.
Nobody pays attention to that stuff. They walk into a building or
the
wherever.
actors and the politicians, they're not going to do anything. They're going to pay somebody to come over and do it. So I'm really blessed to have learned how to work with my hands, and learn how to build and learn how to start from nothing and build something. And my company it's flourishing.
All right.
I got one of my sons, he works with me. I made him the president of the company.
Okay.
His name's Gabe, little Gabe. It's Tyler's little brother.
Okay.
Tyler works for another construction company, and he said he wants to go his own way till it's time. And I can't control that.
Mm.
It's probably a good thing,
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably a good thing. And then I have one son. He's in high school still. So I have my 3 boys, and my plan is to leave something behind for them, as is y'all's plan.
Yep,
Leave something
absolutely.
behind for them. But anyway, I don't want to go off into a ramble, but that's what I'm doing right now. I run a full-time company. We're open 24 hours because leaks don't stop. Everything happens, and then I got the kids, my girls. It's tough, man.
How many employees?
I have 8 employees. So
All right.
counting myself, 8 employees.
24/7.
And it's
I
tough.
gotta jump in. You said you have 4 daughters.
Yes.
I have 4 daughters as well.
Mhm.
So, what is that like from your perspective, having 4 girls at home?
Uh,
It can be extremely challenging at times.
Man, that's a hard one because with the boys, we know.
Yep.
I know I can teach that boy to be a man.
Mhm.
With these girls, I can't teach them how to be a woman, but I can give them an example of what a good man is.
There you
And
go.
that's all I can do, I mean, my girls this year just start showering themselves, for the past couple years, we had to get up. I had to, talk them
Well,
through the showers and
yep.
stuff. And then this year, they said, "We got it, Daddy."
Mhm.
I said, "Okay."
Yep.
I taught them how to do the laundry, set their clothes out the next day, just all these little things to help them be, a great woman.
Yep.
And
Gotta make them self-sufficient.
yes, and my older daughter, she didn't get mad at me, but she says, "You know what, Dad? You make it very hard." She said, "There's nobody that can top you."
Oh yeah.
So she said, "You set the bar high for the other men."
Yep.
So, and she's about to go into college. And I told her, I said, "Well, there is better men than me." And I said, "I'm going to leave it up to you to find them." And she said, "I'll find him."
It's nothing like that. My oldest daughter, I'm a grandfather now, and
Mhm.
when my daughter told me she was getting married some years ago, and she said, I was like, "Tell me about him." So she's telling me about him, and she's
Mhm.
like, "He reminds me of you," and
Yeah.
that just that just hits you right in the feelings
Yeah.
right there. It's like nothing like your daughter expressing her love for you and her gratitude for everything that you tried to teach her. We bumped heads a lot along the way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for her to get grown and say, "Dad, you were right. You did the best you could, and she's doing amazing. Husband's in the military; they're doing great. Other girls are doing great. So it's nothing like being a father to some girls, man.
Yeah.
It's extremely rewarding, but extremely challenging at
Mhm.
the same time.
So we currently we live in Oklahoma, in about 15 minutes outside of Lawton, Oklahoma. So growing up, I was raised in Albuquerque, but I was Comanche, raised around Pueblos.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So I had to fight all the time. And then the Acoma Pueblo took me in. Shout out to the Acoma people, Acoma tribe. I got them right here on it says Aku family. That's how you say their tribe in their language. But they took me in and they treated me good, but I had to earn it.
Yeah.
So when I moved back to Oklahoma, I wasn't raised around there. but I'm the same tribe, so I still wasn't accepted.
Mm.
So I grew up not having a home. So I ended up buying some property. I got 4 acres, and I told my kids, I said, I grew up not knowing where I belong. I said,
This your home.
this is where you belong. I don't care where you go out in this world. This is home. And I never had that growing up. You know, we don't have reservation. You know, the Comanche tribe don't have a reservation. So it feels good to provide something like that, you know, as a man. And I know both of y'all know what that means when you
Absolutely.
provide that something that's going to pass on when we're gone, because our time is short. You know, we both know that.
Yeah. When you were talking about laying in shit
Mm-hmm.
and being willing to do that
Mm-hmm.
for your family, I mean, that resonates, I'm sure, to a whole lot of fathers
Mhm.
out there. I can't tell you how I worked at the post office 10 for 28 years. 27 of them motherfuckers I hated it. But I went
Mm-hmm.
because I had them little kids at home
Exactly.
who had to have clothes and shoes and food.
Mm-hmm.
So I took my punk ass to that post office, shut the fuck up, and did my job. And I wonder, do you think that your children appreciate what dad does?
Yes, I believe they do. Even so, perfect example. You know, my daughter. You know, she'll bring her friends home for the weekend, and she'll daddy me to death, and $20 me to death.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when everyone's gone, you know, she'll come in and I'll be on the edge of my bed. I'm already grandpa status. I get my food and go sit in the room and watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want to talk to me, you know where I am. And
Yeah.
she'll come and she'll sit on the other side and she'll curl up in my blanket and she just thank you, Daddy. You know, I love you, Daddy. And then on the days when I'm feeling it the most, where I'm like, I'm about to knock a motherfucker out today. Today's the day where I go to prison. She'll message me and be like, Dad, thank you for everything that you do.
Oh man.
And I'm just like, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They always
know. They know.
My youngest one is like that. She can just feel it. Like
she could feel it.
She could feel it. She was
We
like,
had that
Dad,
bond. We
are
have
you
that bond.
are you good? Like, yeah, I'm good. She like, no, are you good? Like I don't know what it is, but they can feel it. Especially when I'm close to off the edge.
Mhm.
Just like you said, just that message is like, Dad, like it's gonna be okay. And it's just nothing like your daughter can bring you
Yeah.
you from 100 back down to 0. So I totally understand what you're saying.
And it's trivial sometimes, you know, when you think about, you know, what they see when they look at you, you know. You know, it's you wonder. I know all you guys wonder, man, what do they see when you look at me? You know, I know what I see when I look in the mirror, but what do they see?
Yeah.
And when you look at them, they're 9 times out of 10, they're admiring. Sometimes they're talking shit.
Oh, it's a lot of shit talking. Chill, don't get it fucked up.
But 9 times out of 10, it's admiration, and you know, sometimes that's what we do it for. You know, we do it to show them, you know, hey, I love you.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we do anything for them.
Absolutely. Anything.
We had to, if we had to die right now for them to live, we'd be 3 dead motherfuckers.
Yep.
But and
Quick, fast, and in a
yep, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So that's a good segue into you know, I got really big into riding motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that. Okay, let me
You good?
segue
Yeah.
into it.
No, you good. You good.
Like I said, me and Big Tim go way back, and a lot has happened in between. And one of the things, like I said, I had, you know, since then, flatlined 5 times. I got a new heart and a whole lot of other stuff. But you, my son, have had some close brushes
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about the motorcycle ride where we're about to get into it. You really love, was it a Harley?
Yes.
Of course.
Still got it.
Yeah, I still got the same.
There you
Yeah,
go. Is that it
same
right
one.
there?
Look at him.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah.
Look at him right there.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
see-
me and one of my babies. That's a Comanche Nation fair.
Yeah. See, I knew it was a Harley. I don't even know why I had to ask. But anyway.
Hey, I can't fit on no damn crotch rocket.
Yeah. But man, Harley been bought out, haven't they?
I'm not sure, man.
I think
wouldn't even know.
they have been bought out, and a lot of longtime Harley riders is pissed because I think it's Japan or China. Somebody bought them out. But anyway, tell me about the accident.
So, it was kind of, I guess you could say, since I got that divorce, I only dated one woman prior. And her son was graduating 8th grade, and the dad ain't really around. And I was like, well, I'll be there. And she was like, really? I said, yeah, I'll get on the bike in the morning. So I went and I got all packed up, got my bike loaded up. And my son, Tyler, there was a party there at that house where I was staying at. I wasn't drinking, but they were. And my son came out and he sat on my bike. It's weird. Tyler. He's like, don't go, Dad. Don't go. I was like, why? I said, you know where I'm going? He was like, don't go. And I said, you're going to take your little drunk ass inside. Go inside. You know, he's 26 now. He's old enough to drink. But I physically picked him up off my bike and I jumped on and I rode off. And he texted me and said, I feel bad. And so I made it probably a good hour and a half, and I stopped. Sun was barely starting to poke up, so I stopped, got something to eat, got something to drink. And then I took off, and I had gotten a windshield put on that specific bike. So I don't know if you guys know about bikes, but when you have a windshield, you can hear every fucking thing. Without a windshield, you don't hear shit, just wind. So the windshield, I kept hearing a clanking sound. And so I'm cruising, you know, I'm not speeding, I'm not drunk, I'm not intoxicated. I'm holding on with one hand, I look down, I'm like, what the fuck is, and I look up. I look down one more time, look up, I'm like, what is it? I look down a third time, I'm on the side of the road. So I'm like, oh shit, you know. So I'm trying to come back up, but there's dew on the grass. So I'm sliding. And I hit a gopher hole. Boom. And it just happened so fast. I was in the air so long that I looked back.
Damn.
And I seen my bike going boop, 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 boop. It was flipping. And I looked, and it's like when you're coming down on an airplane and you see the ground coming fast.
Yeah.
So I seen it, and I remember I picked up like here, and I hit. Boom. And, you know, I ain't a little guy.
Yeah.
So my lung collapsed on impact, the left side. So, you know, I rolled, and I wasn't wearing my helmet because when I was trying to leave that morning, some little motherfucker got on my bike and messed up my train of thought, and I left my helmet sitting on the table. Yeah. So I kind of got a little concussed. So anyway, I after a while, you know, I couldn't breathe, and I was like, okay, stand up. And I stood up, and I just boom. So I don't know how long I laid there. I just remember I crawled to the road, and I had called my girlfriend at the time, and I was telling her, you know, I'm down. I just kept telling her I'm down. And that was it. I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember looking up. There was a guy standing over me, and he was talking to me. I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. And then next thing you know, it was like blinks, like in the beginning of your movie where it's like,
yeah.
And then I remember being in the ambulance, and then I remember being in the helicopter. And I remember the conversation. Broken this, man. They had me all braced up, shattered this, broken that, broken arm, broken neck. I was all fucked up.
Man.
And probably about 13 things broken.
Woo.
And so I'm in the helicopter, and I could hear the pilot. And he's talking to the people that he just picked me up from. And he says, you know, we have 45-minute flight and this and that. And he says, well, sir, he's got 20 minutes of air left.
Damn.
So this motherfucker, without any pause, he makes a call and says, tell them to prepare for a DOA.
Damn.
And I heard it. And I remember sitting there and I was like, where the fuck you gonna go? You're in a fucking helicopter. Where was I gonna go?
Yeah.
And I remember, I started to cry a little bit. Man, I could feel it right now. the emotions. But I remember I just looked to the right and I said, okay. And that was it. And I opened my eyes. And here's the helicopter right here. And I'm here. But so when I said okay, right, I felt the best way to describe it is like life-size hands. Like I felt like everlasting, like your mom's love, like everlasting love. And I felt that like all over my body. Like I just felt like love. And so I was like, okay. That's why I said okay, because I felt the love. You know what I mean? I felt I was going to be okay.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was. And so I took my last breath and I came to and I was in the helicopter. I was on top of the helicopter and I was going up. And then the next thing you know, the helicopter was small. And next thing you know, I couldn't see the helicopter anymore. It was just like the galaxy is the best way to describe it. It was like stars and beautiful things and colors. And I was traveling. I was traveling to wherever I was traveling to. And the feeling that I felt was I was okay. I wasn't scared. I wasn't sad. I was just that everlasting love again is what I felt inside.
You know what's interesting about that? When we just
yeah.
we had a lady on that we interviewed this week, and you said it and she said it. It's this calm, this peace that you
and
feel.
Tim said it.
Yep. So it's interesting that all of this is so close together.
Peaceful,
Yes.
the most, it's indescribable. It's that peace. Nothing on earth can compare to how peaceful that was.
Yep.
Man. It's just, it's hard to, but when I hear you trying to describe it, I heard her try to describe it, and then I'm doing my best. I'm on Joe Rogan's podcast trying to tell him how it felt, man. I'm saying, Joe, it was so unbelievably peaceful, so, and after that experience, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked that lady, because we're in the death club, man. Do you fear death?
No, I do not. It's the only thing that I fear about death is leaving my kids.
Yep. I could have finished that
Verbatim.
sentence.
Yeah.
Verbatim.
The only thing that I
years
fear.
ago, when we and him talked about it, that's the same thing he said. The lady we interviewed, she said that's the only thing that I feared is just not being here for my family.
Yep.
Like
Just leaving them because I'm it. I'm the provider. I'm the protector.
Yep.
Absolutely. And if daddy goes, I'm sure they'll be okay because I raised them. I raised some good kids. I know they'll be fine, but I'd rather be there.
Yeah, to see it.
I'd rather be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Man.
And so here's the kicker. When I got to where we was, so, still traveling, and then I opened my eyes again. And the lady got my hand up like this. And I look up at her, and she was saying medical talk, and then I was back.
Wow.
And she shoved a big old tube down my throat, and she started hitting that bag. Man, not on my watch. No.
Man.
And she got that other lung to open back up.
Woo-hoo.
And so they brought me back. I don't know how long I was out. I didn't ask. So I got to the trauma center, and they're like, we have a motorcycle, motorcycle wreck, you think. And like I said, I was covered in braces. They got me there. They carefully loaded me on everything. And they didn't say anything to me. And the doctor came in pissed off. They put my clothes on me and rode me in the hallway. Guess what? Nothing was broken.
What?
Nothing was wrong with me. Not one thing was wrong with me.
Whoa.
Not one thing. Swear to God. Not one thing was wrong with me. And when they picked me up, broken this, broken that, broken collarbone, broken neck, broken. They took all the things off me after I traveled and came back, and there was nothing wrong with me. Other than my lung.
Shit. Yeah.
My lung. Just that was the only thing. And the doctor was mad. They rolled me out of trauma and said, "We got some real victims in here. Get the fuck out of here."
Man.
They was upset with me for wasting their fucking time.
Oh my God. Helicopter ride, ambulance ride, we wasting it on this.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yes.
Oh,
and
man.
I remember they were putting braces on me. You know, his leg. Be careful. His ankle's broken. Be careful. And I was braced up, man. It was fucking crazy. It was wild.
Man.
And then, the very next day, probably the same day, my girlfriend at the time, she came and picked me up, and she took me back to New Mexico and kind of nursed me back to health, and she really took care of me. Shouts out to her. She really. We're not together anymore, but I don't harbor any bad feelings. It wasn't our time on this earth, but we did spend time together, and she took care of me and got me back to health. And not a lot of people know that I was traveling out there to be there for her son.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was the day before Father's Day when I got in that wreck.
Man.
So every time I see Father's Day, it means a whole lot more.
Yeah.
It's like a birthday to me, Father's Day.
Yeah.
So now that I'm back, like that mean streak in me is gone. I'm happy a lot.
It changed you.
I'm grateful a lot
Yeah,
because I know. I'm like Eddie Murphy, man, that upper room.
Yeah, it will really give you an appreciation. When you come that close to dying, it will give you an appreciation for life like nothing else can. It's just, everything changes. Man, I'm so goddamn glad to be here, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
When anybody asks me, "Hey, how you doing?" I don't care what's going on. I'm blessed, man.
Exactly.
I ask him that every morning, and I already know what he's gonna say. But I still gotta ask him. Even if it's damn near 7 years. How you doing today, Pops? I'm blessed, son.
I'm blessed. So after that, I kind of I had a new lead on life because after the divorce, she got the kids.
Yeah.
And I got well, and I got the kids from her. That she wasn't doing good with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all part of God's plan because He had to show the kids who was telling the truth and who was lying.
Yeah, yeah.
So they lived a hostile situation with her, and they live at peace with Daddy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got the kids.
They usually believe the mom, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Whatever she tells, she was telling them this, that, and the third, and they believed them because they're kids, and mommy is home for kids.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got them living with me, this is my daughter came. It was a Friday night. I had just got them, maybe 3 weeks in, and I'm laying on. I laid on the floor because I gave them my bedroom. At the time, I didn't have the property.
That's what daddies do.
She says, "What are you doing?" Watching TV. It's Friday. I'm like, I know. She said, "No bar, no barbecue, no. You're not going drinking, no." She said, "You don't have a life, Dad." I said, "You are my life, baby."
Ooh-hoo-hoo.
And she just looked at me. She smiled and went back in the room. And I just laid back in, laying on the floor on a mattress on the floor watching TV.
Yep.
And from that day on, she knew that she was in the right place.
Yep.
And they still know to this day. And after that incident, though, I learned that I don't have much time left as far as accomplishing. So I became a man on a mission. I'm talking just pounding the pavement. Boom. Next thing you know, I got a property. Boom. Next thing you know, I just bought 10.5 acres in Rush Springs. I used to be an iron addict. Now I'm a buying land addict.
I hope you still got a little iron addict.
Oh yeah,
I know you do.
Yeah,
I know you do.
Hey.
I know you do. Because when you told me, about the accident, when I seen you, I was expecting to see a limp or
Yeah.
some skinned up skin
Yeah,
missing or
yeah.
something. But you look fantastic, dude.
Well,
You
man,
look like you ain't missed a goddamn
you
step
know,
since 2013.
when you introduce me, you know my spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't be broke. You could kick us, we'll get down for a second, we'll trip, we'll fall, but we always get back up.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
a month later, my bike was fixed. My uncle fixed it.
What?
And I got back on that motherfucker. And I'm not gonna lie, like my heart was shaking.
Yeah,
I was
I
scared.
guess so.
But I jumped on it and we got on the freeway and I was still kind of antsy. And I said, you know what? I already know where I'm going. I hit the gas and it's just like almost drowning and then jumping back in the pool.
Yeah,
You know, it's just like, there's only one way to get over it.
Gotta do
You
it.
know, and I still ride to this day. I still got the same Harley, I still I just live life to the fullest now. I try not to waste time. I do so much in a day. Sometimes I miss basketball games. I feel bad when I do that, man. Kids, I feel bad when I miss shit. Just letting y'all know. I do, man. I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got five of them jokers.
Hey, man.
I can't be everywhere,
Look, I got 19 grandkids, and I know exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody got a game or a performance every day.
You're missing something right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Grandpa tried to be at as
As
many
we
of them
speak,
as possible.
Both of us are missing
I can't
something.
make
My
them
daughter's got a
podcast.
basketball game in about an hour
Yeah.
back in Oklahoma, and I'm missing it.
Look, Daddy want to be there,
Yeah,
but
but,
Daddy can't make them all.
It's so now I think as a father, the hardest part for me is figuring out what to do with my idle time because there's days where I notice I'm home alone. My young daughters, they'll go with their auntie, and the rest are teenagers. They go do what teenagers do. And I
Mhm.
sit at home a lot, and it's a new feeling. It's kind of sad some days, because you're alone.
I enjoy it so
I mean, sometimes
I
I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, but it's since I was 18, I've had a child in the home.
Yeah.
And when they're gone, that idle time, I'll be calling them, hey, what are you doing? Like, we'll be home in a while. Leave us alone.
Is this where you said the writing came in though? You said you've been doing some writing now?
Yeah, a lot of.
You gotta
I
spend
got
your idle time.
I got to ask a question before we get past the motorcycle accident. You said your son was sitting on your bike
Yeah.
and didn't want you to leave.
Yes.
I didn't want to
No,
go past
you're
that.
good.
Do you think that your son had a feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever say, "Hey, Dad, I just didn't want you to get on that bike that day"?
I seen him the next day. I seen him, and he just walked up. He whispered in my ear. He said, "I fucking told you." You know what? You know who would have done that? Me.
Yeah.
I would have told him. I fucking told you.
Yeah.
But he whispered in my ear. He didn't say it shitty. He kind of said jokingly, but he was like, "I love you, Dad. I fucking told you."
Yeah,
And he did.
He had a
He
feeling.
told me, "Don't go." And I was always told, as natives, we have the they call it a birth bond or whatever to your oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but me and my oldest, like we almost speak the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is my son is 2 feet smaller than me. But we have a bond that is unlike any other child's bond, the oldest. And I could feel it. I could feel
So it's
he knew.
it's important. We talked to Stephanie. That she's a lady that 37 seconds she was dead,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a premonition of impending doom
Mm-hmm.
3 months before she gave birth. She knew 3 months before she was going to give birth that she was going to die. She had a premonition, and premonitions are some people try to ignore them, but they are. Like your son had a premonition.
Mm-hmm.
He just had a feeling, an overpowering feeling of impending doom. Something bad was going to happen. He knew it and he felt it. I've had those before, and I wanted to ask you: have you ever had a premonition that something bad was going to happen, and it actually did?
Yes, yes. I actually I had a premonition of my mother. She was so when I spent little time with her, not a lot. I was raised with my grandparents, but when I was young, I used to watch her get beat.
Mm.
So
Wait a minute, who beat her?
my stepdad.
Yep.
My stepdad.
Mhm, mhm.
So I I always wanted to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Same here.
I had a premonition of her being hurt and taken from me, and I couldn't help her. So she's man, hold on. Woo. She's
Take your
currently
time, brother.
bedside terminal with terminal cancer right now. And that's the premonition I had. There's some I couldn't protect her from that. It was something it's her time. They just recently they had to shave her hair, it was patchy and stuff. So that one that one was something that I've always tried through my whole life to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had this vision was probably a year ago. I had it, and I was like in my dream, I'm like, oh, I'm this big
Yeah.
motherfucker. Don't fuck with my mom. And I could, no matter what I could do, I couldn't stop that black being
Yeah.
from touching my mother. It was a solid black being, and it was trying to get to her, and I couldn't stop it. So I woke up and I called her about it. And she was like, "I'm fine, son. I'm fine." And then, not too long ago, man, we had a grand opening, ribbon cutting. I'm talking about the highest of highs. Everyone was there. We had a big grand opening for my company. And not even 24 minutes or 24 hours later, they called me and said, "Hey, I'm not going to make it."
From the highest to highest to the lowest of
You
lows,
know,
just like that.
the universe don't give you time,
No.
man. They want to kick you in the nuts quick. And
Yeah.
it in a way, I'm just I didn't want to be like that, but I looked up and I'm like, "You couldn't give me a day?
Mhm,
You couldn't give me a day?"
mhm.
And so yeah, mom's at home. Shouts out, mom. I love you. We pray for you every day. She's at home with terminal cancer, and it's hard. It's hard.
How was it? Oh, it's your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my heart,
Yeah.
and I can tell by the way you're talking that your
Mm,
mom is your heart.
correct.
Um, how was it? Because we went through a similar situation, and to watch as a kid now,
Mhm.
to watch your mom get beat and not be able to do shit about it.
Man, so I honestly thought that I could protect her if she would
Mhm.
have just let me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
she used to be like, "No,
Oh,
no, no, he's gonna hurt you." And in my mind, I was like, "But I got this knife."
yeah.
But she would never let me protect her. Um, and just a quick story with that. The man that used to do that, and
Mhm.
when she used to leave, he used to stand over me and be like, "I'm not your fucking dad." And then she'd walk in the room and he'd be like, call me
Oh,
dad.
man.
So I didn't know how to be,
Mm.
around that.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
she's not looking, and then when she's looking, he's like, call me dad, motherfucker. So, it was really, really trivial time. But this is probably maybe about 8 years ago. I woke up one day and I just had this overwhelming feeling. His name was David. This overwhelming feeling to go see him. So I
Mm.
called my sister. She had 3 kids with him. So I called my sister and I said, "Hey man, I want to go see your dad." And first thing she says, like, "You ain't gonna hurt him, are you?" At that time I was fighting.
Can't make
I
no
was fighting
promises.
MMA, I was fighting. So I was a pretty dangerous dude. And I said, "No, I just want to see him." And she was like, "Okay." So I went and did a jiu-jitsu tournament in Oklahoma City, and I won that. And I wearing my gold. I was all
Yeah,
happy. So we
yeah.
went and we found him. We found him at the bar, and I showed him that, and he was like, he was a man of few words at that night, and we just had like a great time. I
Wow.
didn't. He was such a feeble man, and I was
Mhm,
such.
mhm,
He seen who I became,
mhm.
and he just like, I don't want to fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, he just reached over and he touched my wrist, and he's like, "I'm proud of you, son."
Ah,
and I was okay with that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
2 days later, he had a seizure and died.
Man.
You talk about a feeling, a premonition.
Yep.
Something told me to go see the
Go
man.
see him. Yeah.
Even though all this hatred
Yep.
was built up, something told me to go see him.
Do you feel like
And
you made peace with that after?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I went. I spoke at his funeral. I buried him, and as much as I wanted to be upset with him, I couldn't. I couldn't. You know, I was just.
It is amazing how much any parents out there listening, how much good I'm proud of you, son, did. It washed away a whole lot of hate
Yeah.
that you was inside harboring.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wanted to hear that from my daddy so bad.
Mhm.
You know, I grew up hating him.
Mhm.
And you know, but we grew up hating each other.
Yeah.
He told me straight up, you know, I hate you.
Mhm.
You know, and he didn't just tell me. My dad was a preacher. He got up and told the whole church.
The whole congregation.
You know why me and him can't get along? Because he just like me. And you hate yourself. I hate him and he hate me. And I was like, you goddamn right. You ain't lying, brother. I damn sure hate your ass. And my mother was I want to do away with him. You know, I want to get rid of him. I'm like, I thought she would want to. You know what I'm saying? Man, this motherfucker slapping you upside the head. Let me fucking kill this motherfucker. And but she was, you know, no, don't do that. No, that's your dad, you know. And I'm like, man, fuck this motherfucker. But if he had told me, and I gave him a couple of opportunities, I said, man, you know, Pops, right before my transplant, I went and I seen him. I said, hey, I might not make it through this. I might die. So before I die, I want to go over there and try to talk to my dad. We never sit down and held a fucking conversation my whole life.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to get his tribe, you know, before I get this transplant. I said, Pops, you know, man, when I was a kid, I grew up, you know, afraid of you, and it was just made my childhood miserable, and you know. And he said, "Oh, you know what? I wanted you to be afraid of me." And then the conversation went bad. I said, "Well, you know what, motherfucker? I ain't scared of your ass now." I just tell me if that old man would have said, "You know what, son? I'm sorry that I did that, and you know, could you forgive me?" That would have erased everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I'd have been the happiest motherfucker on the planet, and that didn't happen. Buddy Fletcher, my dad went to his grave, glad that he had raised me like that. So,
all right, we're running low on time. Solomon, I want you to cue that video up because I do want to give
Oh,
people
yeah.
a history lesson.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
When Tim and Mr. Fletcher over here first met. So we're going to go back to 2013.
Hell no. Motherfucker, you ain't taking my lunch money.
If it wasn't for me training MMA at the time, I wouldn't have been able to make it through that. I was a cardio
a machine
at that time.
Look at it.
You try to do that to me now, I got one set.
War path with the Warriors.
There's the
Look
First
at the
Wars
old
United
man.
shirt.
Look at the old man.
First Wars United shirt.
Was that your son? Yeah, that was just
Yeah. And Hassan, he
On the
rest in peace,
motherfucking war
Hassan.
path.
he passed away.
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh my God.
All right.
People, them
It is Samson.
with the big fro.
Some of these motherfuckers were the Warriors.
about 17.
Warrior trained
Yeah.
by my motherfucking will.
Now, you know CT's trick to this. He made me do arms the day before.
Look at that. Tension. Look at that. He doing tension on
we did the tension the night
Yeah.
before. I didn't have any tree left today.
Come on, Tim.
I I was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this.
Then he not his son there too. He ain't gonna stop.
I did pretty good, man.
And no, he did much better than pretty good.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway through, they tapping out.
He's I think Tim was the first to do back-to-back gauntlets too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
5 sets.
Back to back.
Back-to-back.
5 sets.
He did
Y'all
5
damn near took
sets.
me out.
Look, no, he did 5 sets of the gauntlet. So that's 1,000 reps.
1,000 reps?
Yeah, 1,000 reps.
No. So, hey, here's a good story that I was looking, I kept feeling something under my arm. And I was looking, I thought Big Rob was doing something. It was my fucking tricep.
Yeah.
It was so gone that it didn't even feel attached to my arm.
That's 1,000
But
repetitions.
I finished that month. That was the first time I ever tried that before too.
Yeah.
I didn't practice it. I didn't prepare for it. So I go in his gym. These motherfuckers are deadlifting 600-700 pounds. I can't do that.
Yep.
They're squatting 700-800 pounds. I can't do that. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, what can I do to fucking stand out in the land? You know,
Valley of the
land of the
Beast.
Beast, Valley of the
Somebody
Beast.
got to be the best.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to do the gauntlet 5 times. And I told Pops that, and he said, no, he went like this. He pulled my shoulder, and he said, Tim, are you sure?
I know you're crazy, but that's 1,000
And
reps.
I said, fucking bring it on. And he was like, that's all he needed to hear.
Yeah.
He started telling, he told everybody, all right, he's going fucking 5. And he told Bulo, Bulo's like, really? And then Rob, you know Rob, he's like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I let y'all pick the weight, and y'all started, my heaviest one was 40.
Yep.
I've never completed one at 40. I've always completed them up to 30.
I did mine at 30.
Yeah, so I did it at 40. And then after that, I got challenged at different reservations. They fly me out. Their best guy want to challenge me. They made it maybe 2.
Yeah.
And I just had it like that.
Yep.
Bam, bam, bam. I've ever since the wreck, I've not attempted the gauntlet since the wreck. I probably could still do it. I've always just had that.
Gotta get it back on. Look, I'm still here. You still here.
You know what? Hey, let's meet up Sunday or something. Try it out. Tomorrow we got a red carpet thing going on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you before we got out of here. You know, you said you're living in Oklahoma now. What brings you back out here to LA?
I was just an extra in a movie with a good friend of mine, Goldie Tom, and her boyfriend Ryan Begay. They made a Navajo movie, and they had asked me just to come down and be an extra. And it's getting an award at Hollywood tomorrow.
Okay.
So
What's the name of the movie?
It's called Cleaning is a Cakewalk.
Oh.
And my role was Cakewalk Uncle.
Cakewalk.
So all I was doing is walking in with a cake and stuff. It was fun. I was just there for whatever, man. People call me and say, hey, we need your support. I'm there. Yeah. I don't care what it is. We moving a couch. Let's go. That's what kind of guy I am. You ask some people, they say, hey, man, I need your help. Well, how much you paying me? And to me, it's not about that. But yeah, that's why I'm here. It's for that, and then for this, and to go work out, see Samson, and see your daughters, and hopefully see Miss B, and get back over there to the gym at least once or twice.
That's a cakewalk. Is that it right there?
Yep, that's it right there. We will be there tomorrow. They're accepting an award for that. So shouts out Goldie and shouts out Ryan. But yeah, that's why I'm here.
1,000 repetitions without stopping.
Yep.
That's the ultimate gauntlet right there.
The fourth time I tried to get up, I looked at, I kind of had to roll. You can't see it on camera, but I rolled and I pressed up with my legs. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't do 5 of them.
I don't know how I got the last one up.
Down and back was enough for me. I remember getting off the floor and it was a puddle of sweat under me. I
had to travel to Idiotville to fucking finish that. But like you say, there's only a certain motherfuckers that can tap into that shit.
Yep, that's right.
Very few. Very few can just,
Yep.
and I'm blessed to be born with it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
sir.
I'm blessed to be born
When
with it.
he let out that Comanche Warrior
that
yell,
war cry.
yeah, that war cry, it's on in.
Yeah.
I mean, right round rep 500, he let that motherfucker out. I said, oh shit,
Yeah,
he gonna make it 1,000
We
now.
gonna create a monster.
He
You
gonna
know what's
make that
funny?
1,000 now.
After they ran that shit down my throat, man, they damaged my vocals and
yeah.
shit. So when I try to do that now, it's like a scratchy old bird.
I've heard
Man.
multiple stories about,
But I'm
that
yeah.
tooth put down.
But I'm
Fuck up
still
there.
like you. You're still
warrior.
CT Fletcher. I'm
Goddamn
still
right.
Big Tim, the Comanche motherfucking warrior.
Damn right.
All right, Pops. All right, well, we running low on time, Pops. How you want to end this, sir?
Well, Tim, if you had, it's I want to stay on this. You've come very close to death, and that's another thing we have. We got a lot of shit in common. That's another thing we have in common. Have you had any advice to anybody? I'm not going to say anybody. To atheists out there who
Mhm.
don't believe in a higher power, what would that advice be?
Open your eyes a
Hmm.
little bit. I didn't see anything. I didn't see, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't see Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything, but I felt that everlasting love. I felt it. They preach about that love in
Yeah.
that book. They preach about it. Do I go to church every Sunday? No. Am I sitting here
No, at all.
preaching? No. But I'm going to tell you something. I experienced
Yep.
that everlasting peace, the love. Oh, thinking of it now, it makes my heart shiver because I felt it, and until you atheist motherfuckers feel that, and when you do, and you have to stand, if there is a judgment, you're going to have to answer to that. And I felt it, so open your eyes a little bit, atheists. There's, listen to the earth. The earth is talking. There is a bigger world than us. There's a bigger power. It's out there. You just got to open your eyes, shut your mouth, and listen.
All right, well, I think that's the perfect place to end it right there. Tim, we have a very special way that we end these shows every week.
Uh-oh.
We're going to have you join us.
Yep.
So, as you know, the name of this podcast is the Fuck Y'all Podcast,
Mhm.
named by this gentleman over here. So every show we end the show, we going to end it the same way we do every.
Fuck
Fuck
y'all.
y'all.